Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Betrayal of Krondor. Well, last time, remember, we started out just a little bit south of Zun, progressed all the way across the coastline from Quester's View to Sarf. We explored the town of Sarf a fair bit, had a nice talk with Brother Mark, who sold us some spells very cheap, including a 400 gold spell for 30 gold that we then resold for a tidy bit of profit, so we are flush with cash at the moment, after I sold off all the scrolls we've been hoarding for a bit. And we managed to sneak through 2 ambushes, I think, so we didn't have much in the way of fighting, for which I apologize. Not that the fighting has been all that thrilling for a while, with all the gear I've picked up and everything I've done to boost everybody's stats so far. But we stopped just as we came to this barn, which this is where our tormentors are waiting for us. And it looks like there's a few more tormentors ahead of us as well. And the enemy was not surprised. I wonder if I can Grief of 1,000 Knights bag this guy. Not diagonally, unfortunately. Oh well. Oh no, you're not getting away that easy. Don't think there's anything on this little side road. Yep, just a little side path to the beach for no apparent reason. And a side path to the mountain for no reason. Yeah, the Quegian mercenary attacks seem to be getting heavier the closer we get to Krondor. Now these two we surprised. And let's see how more accurate Owen's spellcasting has become. 86% chance to hit. One shot of that one. And now here's the team of Mordhell. 5 of them who we managed to catch off guard. Let's start Grief of 1,000 knighting these guys. Yeah, I'm amazed that one of them didn't run around Locklear to try and get at Owen. All too easy. go ahead and let Owen rest up. Yeah, I think we're fine on rations for a while. I think we're fine on everything for a while, really. Well, not worth the trouble, really. Yeah, all this time, Locklear has not been getting hit with anything. And I think... Well, goodness me, we didn't see that ambush before, but... we just got all the way back to Krondor again. How did I miss the Temple of Sung and all that? Oh well, at least we know we have a road clear for Krondor. Oh, I think it may have been this road that... Oh, wait, we may have... Yeah, that's right. The Temple of Sung is before we get to this barn. We just walked right past it. Don't know how I could have missed that, heading this way from Sarf. Well, unless we're going that way, and yeah. That must be it. We walked this way and didn't turn there to see it. Okay, well... honest mistake, but let's go ahead and head on in. And I believe we now have every single temple that we can teleport between available to us. So we got Killian there, Ishap there, Silban there, Dala there, Tiff there, Kahuli there, Banff there, Limbs Karagma, Ishap, and Rufia right there, and then we have Sung here. So we can get to virtually every zone in the game now. But it'll usually be faster for us to walk anyway. So, talk to the High Priest. Locklear asked to see the High Priestess. She can't see you. Turning noticed another hawkish-looking priest half hidden in the shadows of the colonnade, his eyes rimmed red. He rubbed vigorously at his face before rising to stand next to his fellow priest. Mariah and I just put her to bed half an hour ago. She awoke screaming this morning. The two priests exchanged a significant look, but the meaning of it was lost on Locklear. Is she ill? He interrupted. No, no, the taller priest said with assurance. It is only a symptom of things that have been going on here for a short while. It will pass. You sound very certain, Kellen, the other priest said angrily. Well, I would have sounded angrier if I'd seen that cue there. None of us has slept in weeks. Our healer is so exhausted he may not even bind so much as a finger pricked on a spindle. There is something evil at work here. Bemused, Locklear looked to Kellen. Why would someone be trying to keep you from sleeping? Who could do it? Both priests shrugged. The purpose is beyond us, but we know that whoever is responsible is a magician and very close by. The shorter priest replied. I've also sensed in his dream settings that he has others with him, soldiers perhaps. I don't actually believe he means to communicate with us, but instead someone very far away. Either way, I don't believe any of us shall have an hour's rest until he is dead or we've discovered what he wants. So, yes, whatever magician is doing the dream sendings is very close by. In fact, just around the bend at what was Rose Barn. Just around the other bend at Rose Barn. Odd that there's a barn but no farmhouse, though, isn't it? But yes, waiting in here is Nago, the Moradhel spellcaster, one of Delacon's most trusted generals. Well, most highly placed generals. He doesn't really trust anybody. But he is the one who's been coordinating the attacks against us. He is the one sending the dream sendings. He is the one disturbing the sleep of the local clergy. And he is the one that we have to kill. And I recall apparently that if he will try and run from this combat, if he gets away, it's an automatic game over. But I think we should be able to handle him with everything we've got now. The air rippled. As if the world about them were nothing more than a curtain to be yanked aside, four figures warped into existence before their very eyes, all Moradhel and all armed. One of the assassins, dressed in finer wear than the three who flanked them, bared his teeth as he spoke. Goraf, Laidwin Choki Nekaz Sedu Dedikan, Bakala Delehel. Goraf? Locklear glanced questioningly at his companion, watching as the Moradhel withdrew his own weapon, his black gaze fixed on the others of his kind right before them. Defend yourself, Goraf asked coldly. No master for this, but a sorcerer, Nago. Of those who are said to have served Delacon before the coming of the Six, he is known as the most powerful magician of my kin. Only we three are his will see the next morn. And yes, he just cast a strength drain spell on Owen, which we will get a hold of that spell eventually, but not just yet. So, yeah, our physical attack capability with Owen is next to nothing now. Thankfully, we do have ways of taking him out other than fighting physically. And as much as it is recommended poetic justice if Owen go chasing after him so he can't cast spells, we can't quite get there. Well, actually, we could just get there. Because the main thing we want to do is keep Nago from being able to cast. And he is way faster than us, but thankfully we do have items that can help us with fighting them and keeping him running. Set some hounds to catch a fox. Yeah, I can only do 1 point of damage to that guy. Just shot the dog. Why? You know what? You're not running. You come back now. And let's see, is he holding anything with lightning, with metal on it? That got it. It was tricksy and annoying keeping him running, but we got him. And looks like we got a Alphane's Icer. Nice little item for doing cold damage. We will need to take that to read the note. Master, we have placed the false notes concerning an attack to the south of Tanyears in the chest you requested. Providing they gain access to those messages, they should fall most blindingly into your elegant trap. I applaud your stratagems. So, all those messages we found in the Eggly and Tanyears area saying that they were building an ambush were fake. Which we know because we didn't see nearly as many troops in that direction, but they did put a lot of effort into making us think there were troops in that direction. So yes, we have just overcome what was meant to be the most difficult combat in Chapter 1. And yeah, if you're not prepared for Nago running for it, can be pretty tricky. But hey, I think we profited rather handsomely from that. But we're not done yet, because we head back around the road to the Temple of Sung. Kellen greeted them. You look a little more lively than the last time we met, Locklear said. Have you gotten a bit of rest? The first I've had in a while, the priest admitted. As I suspected, the dreams plague us no more. I've even heard our healer is once more on his feet. That was pretty good for 5 minutes. Our high priestess is still tired as yet, but I assume she'll be back to about her duties in no time. Things return to normal as by the will of Sung. Goraf hissed through his teeth at the bowing priest. Like all priests, you credit those who watch and not those who do. Snapping abruptly upright, a hurt look lowered in Kellen's eyes. What do you mean? He means, Owen interjected, that we found the person responsible for the dream sendings. There was a Mordhel magician, and we took care of the problem. Sensing that the boy might go too far in his glory hounding, Locklear seized Owen's arm tight grip. Please forgive my companions for the outburst. They have been on the road for quite some time and have forgotten their manners. No apology is necessary, the priest said, removing Locklear's grip on Owen's arm. They are quite proper in asking acknowledgment. How may I reward you? Do you have any spells I might learn? Owen interjected. Seeing the anger flaring in the senior's eyes, he quickly amended. If there are any other magicians like them, it might be prudent for us to be better prepared to meet the challenge. Kellen nodded. I have one such spell I can teach you that will allow you to protect yourselves, if the others will stay here. Fuming, Locklear nodded his reluctant assent, taking a seat next to the reflection pool, motioning for Goraf to do likewise. Wordlessly, both sat down prepared for a long wait. After several hours, Owen returned a slight smile flickering on his lips, but in the intervening time, Locklear's anger had not abated. Thanking the priest as graciously as he could, Locklear turned and stormed from the temple's courtyard, his charges following quickly behind them. So, we did get a new spell. And we won't get any indication of what it is unless we go into our spell book. But we did just get a little spell called Hocho's Haven. And I believe we now have all of the, well, almost all of the defensive spells that are found in this little tier. Hocho's Haven, which I believe is named for Hocho Peppa, one of Pug's friends from the world of Kellowan in the books. Hocho's Haven is a nice little spell if you don't have Skin of the Dragon yet, which, oddly enough, by this point you should. But Hocho's Haven creates a barrier around you that absorbs damage. The more you put into the spell, the more damage it absorbs. Not quite so useful as Skin of the Dragon, which makes you immune to most damage for a number of rounds, but magic is magic and always useful. So, with that done, I believe our questing is finished. We have done every single quest we can possibly do in Chapter 1. So now we are free and clear to go and walk into the city of Krondor. The path turned. After a few minutes of traveling, the road bend began to slope toward the sea, leading eventually through a pair of iron gates into the majestic seat of the principality. "Krondor," Locklear said with a sigh that seemed incapable of relief and concern. "If the assassins have been sent for us, it seems a safe bet they'll be lying in wait for us between here and the palace. What's your guess, Garaf? Do we go in now or not?" We do. Gulls wheeled in the skies over the capital of the Western Realm, weaving daring circles about the parapets of the palace, narrowly avoiding the prince's standards, which fluttered in the salty breeze. Below, the city folk of Krondor took little notice of the majestic display as they hurried about their own affairs. We have the palace, we have a shop, we have an inn, we have a different shop, yes, 2 shops, and the sewer. You know where this is going to go eventually, because all games have to have a sewer level. But let's go ahead and try the palace first. Locklear made a face as he shook the bars. For all the troubles he had been through to get them all alive to Krondor, the locked palace gates simply add insult to injury. Calling out to the gate master angrily, he pounded the hilt of his sword against the portcullis. Stirred by the racket, a young man livered in the colors of the Krondorian Lancers strode out of his watchhouse and squinted at them, scooping up his bardashi, which leaned against the interior wall. "Would you please get this gate open?" Locklear said. "We have business with the prince." "Can't help you, senor," the guard replied. "The gate mechanism's broken and has been since 3 nights ago. Unless you and your companions have a mind of climbing the walls, there won't be any way of getting through here until we can find the plans for the portcullis. The castle engineer is absolutely livid." Locklear accepted the news with irritation, but knew of nothing else that could be done. "Could you go and get Prince Arufa for me, then? It's a rather urgent matter." Again the guard shook his hand. "He's meeting with Pug of Starduck and some Surani fellow named Makala. Gave explicit instructions he wasn't to be disturbed unless the castle was burning down around the ears." "Could you at least find Senor James?" The guard cut him off with a shake of his shaggy head. "Been missing for 2 days. No one knows quite where he's off to, but you know how James can be." Locklear nodded. "All too well. My bump of trouble tells me he's gone looking for whoever sabotaged the gate." "Sabotage?" The guard looked puzzled, as if the thought hadn't occurred to him. "Why would anyone do that?" "I'm not sure, but if the thought occurs to me, I can guarantee you it occurred to Senor James." Resheathing his sword, Locklear bid the guard farewell and motioned for his companions to follow him. "I have a feeling that the only way to solve both our problems is by going through the sewers that lead beneath the city," Locklear whispered, hurrying them to the north gate. "There's a secret passage that will lead into the palace, and I also suspect we may bump into Senor James down there as well." Well, before we go into the sewers, let's go ahead and hit the shops, and Goraf snorted. "The market district in Krondor," he said, containing his amusement. "Why don't we just give all our possessions and give them away? The mockers are thick as porridge in there, and the local merchants hike up the prices accordingly. We'd be better off buying outside of the city." Amazing how the Mordhel chieftain, who has never been this far south and has never visited a human city, knows so much about the market district of Krondor. But we do have a gem shop, which, yes, it is very pricey here. But, and we can't really sell that magic ring for much. And you won't take that. Won't take much of anything, but I don't think we have that particular key yet. Okay, let me shift something into Goraf's inventory so I can let my master haggler work on this. And the other shop, Sign of the Eagle. I think I'm going to drop 1 silver on the price, but at least I finally got Locklear a whetstone. Well, nothing else for it. We will have to go into the sewers. Locklear led the way down. Twice he nearly lost his footing on the treacherous climb, but at last they arrived safely on a precipit of rock just below the northern gate. Too thick to allow a determined effort at entry, the door was probably set over the sewer and spent odors from offending visitors passing through the northern gate. And hey, was there something hidden in the hole? 5 gold. Much more pleasant than what I expect to find in a hole in a sewer. Locklear pulled the door open. Immediately he was overwhelmed by the stench of the sewers and looked to Gorath for his advice. "Smells awful down there," he said. "Are you sure you're ready to go in?" "Yes, we are." They made their way into the reeking blackness, and it looks like the party's abilities have increased. Yeah, weaponcraft, barding, lockpick, and stealth. Stealth was at 92, defense, and barding, scouting, and stealth. We'll go ahead and get a light going. And it won't be long before we make a step in here, and I deeply regret that we don't have the voice acting patch on this version of the game, because I remember rather well that whenever you enter the sewers, you get this voice going, "Who goes there?" So I'm going to try and do something similar for that for the Cockney lad that we're about to meet. A figure moved in the tunnel. Seemingly having appeared from nowhere, nowhere is 2 words, a young boy halted them before they could move any further ahead. "Who be you, and what would you have in the what would you in the thieves' highway?" "I be Signor Locklear, and I do whatever I will in the prince's sewers. If you're half as intelligent as you seem, I would advise you to step out of the way." "Fast of a blade I am. Step any further, and I'll do you, I will." "Oh my." "The only thing you will do, my young friend, is die an unfortunate death on the point of my sword. I used to spar with Jimmy the Hand, and I'm a faster blade than he. Do you still wish to cross me?" "Jimmy the Hand, he's a legend, sire. Next you'll be telling me you've lain with the Empress Lakeshia of Kesh. I'd advise you to be nice-like, however, 'cause I got 5 blokes waiting there a little on down to make sure nothing happens to me, see?" Yeah, Jimmy the Hand is the name that Sir James of Krondor had before he was elevated to the nobility for services rendered to the crown, i.e. saving the prince's life twice. And a bit of a mythology gag and foreshadowing here. Loki does not wind up laying with the Empress Lakeisha of Kesh. He does, however, get to score with her daughter in Prince of the Blood, but spoiler. Anyway, I don't suppose you've come on behalf of Senior James, have you? Senior James? Then you don't... Well, perhaps we have. All right, then, down the tax. If he didn't send you, you'll be answering to the upright men and not me, so I'll wash my hands of it. Just watch your steps down here, there's a bit of trouble going on down here. Good day. Wait, we don't know our way around down here. Do I look like a bloody page? You got affairs of me own what I got to do. Just answer a few questions? Right then, as long as you don't ask me anything about what might get me in hots of the night, master. What do you want to know? Well, we answer about picklocks. You wouldn't happen to have an extra set of picklocks laying about, would you? Could be I would. That would depend upon if you have to offer me now, wouldn't it? How about a royal pardon next time you end up in the hands of the city guard? Oh, that'd be very nice. How about the prince's palace while you're at about it? I have to be cocklehead and 3 pence short to buy in a fib what you just told. No quicker than you're out on the highway, you'll have forgotten in a mock a minute. You'll have to do better. How about gold? That's the language. 25 gold sovereigns. Take it or leave it. I think I'll leave it, because that is actually a pretty good price for a set of lockpicks, but given my options, I choose to leave it. I could buy a set of picklocks and week's rations for that price. You'll never be as successful as a merchant with prices like that. Not my ambition. I would prefer it down here if it's all the same to you. I'll be off now, as I've got business with the upright man. That would be the head of the Thieves Guild. You have to come and tell me some more of your fables about Jimmy the Hand. Perhaps we will. Thank you for your help. Right, so we are about to head into the sewers of Krondor, which are green for reasons probably best not thought about. That isn't emeralds. It's probably mold. Yeah, mold. Let's go with mold. And we will explore the sewers and hopefully get into the palace and see Prince Arufa next time. We'll see you then.